Our case study focuses on a company called InnovaTech, which implemented a hybrid work model following the COVID-19 pandemic. While some employees are in the office 3 days a week, the software development team was granted permission to remain fully remote. This has led to resentment from the marketing and sales team who feel that the remote developers receive preferential treatment. Tension escalates when the software team consistently misses deadlines, but management continues to defend the team's flexibility. The marketing manager complains to HR that the developers' inaccessibility is crippling their ability to plan and execute campaigns, while the sales team complains of a communication gap affecting their client relationship. The developer team claims that their work is not location dependent and that they can communicate effectively through online channels, accusing the in-office teams of micromanagement.
From an HR perspective, this conflict can be explained by three main root causes, which is unequal work arrangements, lack of effective communications and teamwork, and lastly, managerial favoritism. So, firstly, unequal work arrangements are a major source of conflict. The hybrid work policy was not applied fairly across departments. Developers were granted full remote work while marketing and sales employees were required to be physically present in the office. This inconsistency has caused in-office employees to feel unfairly treated and disadvantaged. As a result, resentment developed due to the perceptions of preferential treatments and management bias. Secondly, the lack of effective communications and teamwork has further intensified the conflict. Marketing and sales teams rely heavily on fast feedback and close collaborations to manage campaigns and client relationships. However, developers prefer online communications and believe it's sufficient. The absence of clear communications guideline has led to delays, misunderstandings, and missed deadline, weakening collaborations between departments. And the last one is managerial favoritism has escalated the situations. Despite repeated missed deadline by the development teams, management continues to defend their flexible work arrangements. Marketing and sales employees feel that their complaints are ignored and not taken seriously. This perceived favoritism has increased frustrations, lower trust in management, and intensified tensions between in-office and remote teams.
It's important to understand the conflict that exists between the software and marketing or sales teams. This conflict mainly happens because different teams have different working needs. The software team requires flexibility and uninterrupted focus time to concentrate on coding and problem solving. On the other hand, the marketing and sales team depend heavily on collaboration and fast response to coordinate campaigns and meet customer demands. With the implementation of hybrid work, communication gaps have become more common with increased misunderstanding and delays between teams. To address this conflict, a structured mediation plan has been designed to balance flexibility for the software team with collaboration needs for the marketing and sales teams. This process consists of several key stages. The first stage is preparation. In this stage, a neutral mediator is appointed either from HR or an external party to ensure the process is unbiased and fair. Each team selects one or two representatives to participate in the discussions. Both teams provide written statements highlighting the issues they face and objective data such as missed deadlines, delayed communications, meeting attendance, and workflow bottlenecks are collected. This ensures the validation is based on fact rather than assumption. The goal of this stage is to create a clear understanding of the challenges each team faces before any discussion begins. The second stage involves setting ground rules. The mediator establishes clear guidelines to make sure the discussion is respectful and productive. Key rules include respectful communication, non-interruption, confidentiality, and focusing on issues rather than personal conflicts. The mediator also clarified the shared goal of the session, finding a balance between the software team's need for focus and flexibility and the marketing and sales team needs for accessibility and predictable timelines. This stage helped create a psychologically safe environment where everyone can openly share their perspective. The third stage is issue and interest identification. Here, both teams present their perspective in detail. The software team emphasizes the importance of flexibility and uninterrupted focus time, while the marketing and sales team highlight the need for accessibility, collaboration, and timely communication. The mediator listens carefully and summarizes the key issues, ensuring that everyone understands each other's priorities. This step is crucial for identifying common ground and possible compromise.
Next, identifying shared interests. From an HR mediation perspective, the first step is identifying shared interests between the software development team and the marketing sales team. Although the teams have different work arrangements, they share common organizational goals. These include meeting project deadlines, ensuring effective communication, producing high-quality work, and maintaining trust and transparency. Elaboracy 2024 highlights that recognizing shared interests helps shift conflict from a us versus them mindset to a collaborative problem-solving approach. By focusing on these shared priorities, HR can reduce defensiveness and encourage cooperation, which is essential for resolving interdepartmental conflict in a hybrid work environment. Number 5, joint problem solving. Once shared interests are established, HR should facilitate joint problem-solving sessions involving representatives from the software, marketing, and system. One key solution is the introduction of co-collaboration hours, for example, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. During this time, all employees, whether remote or in office, are expected to be available for meetings, discussions, and urgent coordination. This makes sure real-time communication without removing flexibility. Another solution is the implementation of weekly anchor days. These are specific days where teams align their schedules to enhance cross-functional collaboration. Anchor days provide structure and predictability while still allowing employees to enjoy the benefits of hybrid work. Additionally, HR should establish clear communication protocols. This includes agreed response time expectations, define communication channels for different tasks, and standardized reporting methods. Clear rules reduce misunderstandings, improve coordination, and minimize perceptions of unfair treatment between remote and in-office employees. Number 6, monitoring and review. To make sure the success of this mediation outcome, continuous monitoring and review are critical. HR should evaluate the pilot period by identifying what works well and what requires improvement. Employee feedback from both remote and in-office teams should be actively collected to assess communication effectiveness and collaboration quality. According to Magana et al. 2022, structured monitoring mechanisms are essential in hybrid teams. Therefore, InnovateTech should conduct weekly synchronization meetings, utilize shared project management tools, and implement workflow service level agreements or SLAs to clearly define responsibilities and deadlines. These measures improve accountability, reduce confusion, and prevent future conflicts arising from unclear expectations. Lastly, action plan and implementation. For implementation, HR should select 2 to 3 agreed solutions and conduct an 8 to 12 week pilot program. Responsibilities should be clearly assigned to team leaders and HR representatives to make sure accountability. In addition, measurable outcomes such as improved deadline adherence, faster response times, and higher employee satisfaction should be established. According to CIPD 2021, Formalizing agreements strengthens conflict resolution. Therefore, all parties should sign a mediation agreement outlining expectations, responsibilities, and review timelines, reinforcing commitment to the agreed solutions.
Next, I will explain the organizational policy proposed by HR, which is the implementation of a standardized hybrid work framework. This framework is designed to address concerns of fairness, communication issues, and performance accountability across departments. First, clear and consistent criteria. The framework will establish clear guidelines on who is eligible to work remotely based on job requirements, level of collaboration needed, and performance expectation. By defining these criteria upfront, employees can better understand why certain roles may require office presence while others can be performed remotely. Second is fairness and transparency. This policy aims to reduce perception of favoritism by ensuring that hybrid work decisions are made using standardized criteria rather than managerial preference. Transparent decision making helps build trust among employees and minimize resentment between teams. Third, employee understanding. This framework will provide clear explanation and documentation so employees understand the rationale behind different work arrangements. When employees know the reason for this decision, it helps manage expectation and reduce misunderstanding or conflict. And finally, trust and flexibility. The policy maintains a balance between trust and flexibility by supporting remote work where it is appropriate, while still holding employees accountable for deadlines, communication, and performance outcomes. This ensures flexibility does not compromise teamwork or productivity. So, in conclusion, the standardized hybrid work framework provides a structured and fair approach to managing hybrid work arrangement, helping Innovate Tech improve collaboration, reduce conflict, and maintain organizational effectiveness.
So, for the second policy, HR proposed mandatory collaboration policies to address the communication breakdown and coordination issues highlighted in the case. Based on the case at Innovate Tech, although the company has adopted a hybrid work model, there is no structured collaboration system in place where the software development team works fully remotely while marketing and sales teams are required to be in the office 3 days a week. This difference in work arrangement has caused frustration, especially when developers are perceived as hard to reach and deadlines are repeatedly missed. As shown in the report, marketing and sales teams rely heavily on fast feedback and close coordination to plan campaigns and manage client relationships, which becomes challenging without clear collaboration rules. Mandatory collaboration policies aim to ensure that flexibility does not compromise teamwork and organizational performance. Under this policy, HR would introduce fixed collaboration times, such as core working hours, where all teams, either remote or in office, must be available for communication and discussion. This directly addresses the complaint from marketing and sales teams that developers are inaccessible during critical planning periods. In addition, the policy would require regular and scheduled cross-team meetings, such as weekly sync sessions between software, marketing, and sales teams. These meetings create predictable opportunities for updates, progress tracking, and clarification of expectation, which helps reduce misunderstanding and last-minute conflicts. Structured check-ins support better coordination and accountability across departments. The policy also emphasized the use of standardized communication on tools such as Microsoft Teams or Slack as the primary platform for all work-related communication. By requiring all teams to use the same tools, HR ensures consistency in how information is shared, decisions are documented, and responses are tracked. This helps close the communication gap where developers believe online communication is sufficient, but in office teams, it feels disconnected.
Overall, mandatory collaboration policies serve as a preventive HR strategy rather than reacting to complaint after conflict escalates. This policy sets clear expectations for availability, communication, and collaboration from the start. As concluded in both the report and slides, structured collaboration rules help reduce resentment, improve trust between teams, and support a more balanced hybrid work environment where both flexibility and collaboration are valued.
So, in conclusion, the conflict at InnovatTech demonstrate how unequal work arrangements, communication breakdowns, and perceived management bias in a hybrid environment can create a toxic workplace. The absence of clear communication patterns between remote and in-office employees has intensified misunderstandings and resentment. Through HR-led mediation that emphasizes shared interests, joint problem solving, continuous monitoring, and structured implementation, InnovatTech can transform conflict into collaboration. Ultimately, a well-designed hybrid work framework promotes fairness, strengthens teamwork, and supports long-term organizational performance.